I think that the biggest difference between a singer and an actor is that singers reveal a lot about their personal life, their feelings, their music is almost always directly related to them. While actors get to hide behind a character, a persona, they don't have to reveal so much about themselves. So, I think storytime animators are a lot like singers because we literally talk about our personal lives, experiences with, I don't know, first dates, crushes, flipping school lunches. So, without further ado, I'm gonna talk about something very personal to me. Have you ever self diagnosed yourself with something? If you have, I urge you, please, please, please do not label yourself as autistic or ADHD or whatever unless you contact a medical professional who can actually verify that, who can actually give you the proper results and actually tell you, hey, you actually have dyslexia, or you are actually, I don't know, OCD, you have OCD, and there came a point in my life when everything I did just pointed towards one thing: autism. What made me actually think that I had autism? We can go all the way back to when I was 5 or 4, 5. I had to go to school, and my mother, obviously, because I'm a 4-year-old, had to dress me, choose what clothes I'm gonna wear. I never really got a say in what I was gonna wear. Actually, I don't even know if 4-year-olds are supposed to be able to make decisions like that. I actually don't know. All I know is that my mother did that for me, and she put me in these checkered red pants. Red checkered pants. Yeah. And they were so irritating. The texture just felt off, and I started crying. I didn't want to put them on. I wanted to take them off. She put them on, I took them off. She put them on, I took them off. And she just forced me inside those pants, and she was like, you're gonna wear these pants. You are not getting to choose what you're gonna wear, young missy, and you're gonna go to school. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not gonna wear these. And I'm bawling my eyes out. So on the way to school, I'm still bawling my eyes out, and my dad is like, you know what? Flippin' just skip school. You don't have to go to school, just go to your grandmother's house. Reason I go to grandmother's house is because it is closer to my school than my parents' house. My parents live like 30 minutes away from school, whereas my grandmother's house is like 5 minutes away from school. So I just stay there for the whole day. And yeah, I took off those pants, alright? Now, I feel like my mother at the time would have thought she just doesn't like... Ooh, I just dropped my pen. She just doesn't like that she is wearing what I chose for her. She thinks maybe her pants are ugly or whatever. And that was actually not the case. I think those khaki pants, did I say khaki? Those red pants are really pretty, but it's just the texture. The texture, just the feeling, no. I have 2 watches. I have a bunch of earrings. I have, I think, max 2 necklaces, and I have a ring, and I used to have bracelets. I don't wear any of those ever because it just feels so off. Like anytime I put any piece of jewelry or a watch on, it takes away all of my attention, and I cannot focus on anything but that thing because I can feel it so much. The only thing I can actually withstand wearing is my glasses, because I've been wearing them for almost a decade now. That's crazy. Almost a decade. But yeah, I love my glasses. Another incident was I was at school in LO class, life orientation. And here in South Africa, if you ask any child what we do in LO, they're gonna tell you, I don't know actually, we just sit around, chat, because LO is the time when people get to talk to their girlfriends and their boyfriends, and they get to socialize and just yap. I'm telling you, more than 50% of the class doesn't even have a book. They do not own a book. Nobody has done any work from the very beginning of the year. And we're doing a project in LO. Everyone is just chatting. It's fun. It's alright. The atmosphere it's just chatter, and it's like it's normal, right? So I get up, I'll go to the teacher, like, sir, do you have a stapler that I could, okay, I need to stop fiddling with this pen. Do you have a stapler that I could borrow? I want to staple my task together. And he's like, no, actually, but you can go ask the teacher next door. And I'm like, okay, sure. I go out and I wait. The teacher is yapping and she's not paying me any attention. Like, she glanced at me once and then turned back to her students to continue yapping. So obviously she's pretty busy. So I'm just like waiting for her to finish yapping. And one of my classmates, we'll call her B, she walks towards me and she's like, oh, Mosh, what are you doing here? What are you waiting for? I'm like, I just want to borrow a stapler from die onderwyseres right here. And she's like, oh, okay, no, I have a stapler, I can borrow you. So we head back to class. We are sitting diagonal to each other. So I'm going forward, then I go back, I go to the left. Forward, left. Until all of a sudden, the boy who's sitting there in front of me, or in front of the class, is like, Mosh, no ways. You're acting like an NPC. You're walking like an NPC. I'm like, what? I'm taken aback. I'm shook. And he's like, no, like, the way you're walking is giving robot for real. I'm like, what's an NPC? And he's like, oh, it's one of those characters in the video games they don't really have a purpose and they move funny. And the rest of the class is like just staring at us. And then one boy sitting next to him is like, no, you can't say that to her. That's mean. And he chuckles and he's like, no, I don't mean it in a bad way. But like the way she's just turning 90-degree angles. And I'm just there. I'm flabbergasted. I'm bemused.
Gotcha. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
At some point, I finally decide, why don't I just ask my friends and teachers if they think I have autism? So I go, hey, do you think I have autism? You definitely have autism. Hey, do you think I have autism? You have autism. Hey, do you think I have autism? I'm not sure, actually. Ma'am, do you think I have autism? No, sweetheart, you do not have autism. Ma'am, do you think I have autism? I definitely see signs of autism in you. A matter of fact is that most of the answers that I got were yes rather than no. A lot of the times, my older brother will actually tell me, you remind me of young Sheldon. And watching shows like Young Sheldon, The Good Doctor, and Extraordinary Attorney Woo Young Woo made me realize that I share some things in common with these characters. And so that led me to doing a lot of tests online, like tens. I can't say hundreds, tens of tests online, which I scored above average for most of them. And so the conclusion was, you show very strong signs of having autism. The major thing that happened that sort of had me very confused, like more confused than being called an NPC, was one time some nurses came to school to give all the girls an injection for a vaccine of some sort. And there was this girl, we'll call her S. She is deadly, and I mean deadly, afraid of needles. While I'm not. I am a champ when it comes to needles. I've been told. I don't feel them when they penetrate my skin. Everything is awesome. They go in, go out, done. But S is so afraid. She started to scream before they even put the needle inside her skin. And she shrieked so hard that the next moment I found everything going black and I was on the floor. And my blazer was above my head and I was just bawling my eyes out. I was crying and I was like, why are you crying? This is so confusing. And then on the other hand, I'm hearing my friends' voices and they're like, oh no, what happened? No, get up, don't be scared. We'll hold your hand. And they just sticking their hands out like, we'll hold your hand if you're afraid of the needle. And I'm just like, oh my days, what's going on? Very supportive friends, I love them. The last clip was added after I recorded everything, so that's why my voice is gonna sound different again. And that drove me to my African parents. They're African, but they're also quite modern. So it didn't take too much to convince them, hey mom, hey dad, can we go see a health professional for the mind to get assessed for autism, because I think I have autism, and yes, this is what autism is, this is what it entails. So next thing I know, we're at an OT and he's yapping and he's talking with my mom for like 2 hours straight, and then he only talks to me for 1 hour, and throughout the 1 hour session he laughs like 7 times, I think. And he's like, the moment you walked in through that door, I could tell you didn't have autism. I left that room having been told by him, you don't have autism, but I definitely think there is something else going on. And he told me to come back for another session because he had another patient waiting. I never went back. So today, I don't know what I have, but whatever is going on, whatever I have or don't have, it's alright. It's alright, really. But I just think that being diagnosed with something, and finally knowing, oh, I have this or I have that, could explain so much. It could explain so much to know that I have autism, I have dyslexia, I have ADHD, I have OCD. It can explain why you act the way you act and make life so much easier to know that you're neurodivergent and that's why you don't fit in with neurotypical people. Although it seems like nowadays we are getting more neurodivergent people than neurotypicals, which is kind of interesting. The conclusion to this video, what I really want to say is, don't just go with a self-diagnosis. That is dumb. Go do something. If you have the ability to, go and get tested. The downs though, the cons of this entire thing is that when you're applying for a job or applying for university or whatever, that might be noted down and it might decrease your chances of being integrated into the adult society, unless you're already an adult. I don't know. But yeah, that's the end of my video. Stick by. Okay, that's corny. Bye.